Hi, team. This is a presentation of a briefing paper for Group A members, Gloria Nanuzi, Nabi Mavian, Ahimbisiwe Andrew, Kayaga Hadija, and Ahumuza Freedom. In reference to the case study for the Russia-Ukrainian invasion, we are going to look at the effects the invasion has had on an organization of our choice. And the main cause of the invasion was because the United States was trying to push forward policies to the Ukrainian government that Russia and Putin and other Russian leaders found as an existent threat towards their country, and they decided to go ahead with the invasion. And using Mandela Millers as an organization of our choice, this is an organization offering a premium range of wheat, which is available at almost all shops and supermarkets, offering competitive rates, fast and efficient distribution of high quality wheat flour to the different bakeries around the country. And Russia being one of the largest exporters of wheat and fuel in the world, this is how its invasion to Ukraine has and continues to affect our organization. Through long lead times in the delivery of raw materials, which has led to scarcity of raw materials, that is wheat, which is the primary raw material for the production of wheat flour, thus making the organization to fail to meet its high demand for its products in the market, leading to loss of profits and reduction of revenues, which has affected the shareholder capital. There's also been an increase in fuel prices, and this has been because of the hoarding of fuel by Russia, which has led to an increase of fuel prices, thus high operational costs such as transport and distribution costs of both raw materials and the final product, thus making it difficult for the organization to match the prices of its wheat flour. This is because as well that there is low consumer expenditure, since the hiking of fuel prices affected each and everyone around the country, thus low sales for the organization. There has also been price fluctuations, which have made demand forecasting difficult, which has affected the production of wheat flour. For example, the increase in the prices of spare parts of machines that facilitate the production of the wheat flour and their maintenance, wheat flour preservatives and packaging materials that contribute to the final product of Mandela Millers. And this has resulted into a collusion between the organization and its suppliers of wheat, hence distorting the relationship, thus making planning and allocation of resources in the organization very difficult, which has affected its performance. I'll invite my colleague Mavian to take us through the strategies that the organization has used to curb down the effects of the war on the organization.
Thank you so much, Gloria, for the introduction of the effect. I would like to take us to the strategies, and we see that a strategy is simply a plan, a technique and pattern of how to achieve a vision. As Mandela Millers, an organization of our choice, we have 5 strategies that we can apply to reduce exposure of the effects of the war on our organization. And below are the listed strategies: supplier tiering, currency hedging, adoption of the AAA and the lean approach, diversification of the manufacturing and the sourcing networks, supplier development, and placing buffers along the supplier chain. When we look into the supplier tiering, we see that it refers to a process of organizing suppliers into tiers based on the level of their importance. And as Mandela Millers, our organization, we have placed tiers to ease communication and create collaborative environment. This has helped the company to manage supply chain threat and increase its performance. For example, ensuring that key suppliers for the different raw materials required in the production of the wheat flour have received all necessary information in a timely manner, thus increasing efficiency, leading to shorter lead time, eliminated delays, and improved quality and timeliness of our final products, thus boosting the company's competitiveness, revenue, and profit. On the next slide, you'll see we have illustrated the supplier tiering, and we have supplier X and Y. We consider supplier X for all our important raw materials, and in case they don't have the raw materials, we don't lag behind in our production. We go straight away to supplier. Why? Thank you so much. Andrew, you can take us to the next. Currency hedging as a strategy.
Our next strategy is currency hedging. Currency hedging refers to the agreement with a supplier to sell at a specific particular currency on a future date, but at today's exchange rate. So as an organization, as Mandela Millers, we would apply currency hedging to reduce on the effects of the war. As Mandela Millers, we would apply currency hedging to protect our organization from translational exposures, which occur due to effects of currency fluctuations. For example, the current price of wheat is between $1, half a dollar to $1. As an organization, we would formulate contracts with our suppliers to purchase wheat at 0.7 US dollars, no matter the price changes, hence curbing down the effects of price fluctuation. This will also protect an organization against inflation, interest rate changes, commodity price volatility, hence reducing the exposure of the effects of the war. We would also apply AAA approach. We would apply AAA approach. AAA we mean adaptability, alignment, and agility. In brief, agility is the ability to respond to the changes in demand and supply within the shortest time possible, so that to respond to the rapidly changing supply chain requirements. Adaptability refers to how fast one is willing to cope up with the changes or dynamics in demand. And alignment is the ability to align all interests of all firms participating in the supply chain. As Mandela Millers, would adopt the AAA to promote process alignment, proper demand forecast, promote shared chain responsibility, hence reducing on the adverse effects of the war. For example, we would produce basing on the number of orders from our wholesalers in the market. Thank you. Our next strategy, my colleague can elaborate on our next strategy.
Diversification of manufacturing and sourcing networks. This refers to a strategy of creating a network of additional suppliers that encompass different size, locations, and capabilities. For example, moving away from suppliers in Russia and its neighboring countries and looking into engaging other suppliers from other countries, especially in Africa, like Ethiopia and South Africa. Diversification of networks shall promote multiple procurement channels for the goods and raw materials, hence reducing on the effects of product scarcity and shortages. Diversification of networks shall also drive up competition, driving down price and creating innovative ideas, hence reducing on the effect of that could arise due to long lead time. Now, you can take us through the next.
Another point is placing buffers along the supply chain. And buffer sometimes is also known as safety stock or contingency stock, which is an additional stock kept on hand for cases of emergency, transportation delays, supply chain failures, and unexpected sagas in demand. In most cases, This inventory may be in form of raw materials or finished goods a company may keep. The advantages may be because of the fluctuation in demand and supply. That's why we may be keeping this buffer inventory. This strategy of placing buffer inventory also a challenge of long lead times in delivery and scarcity of raw materials within the organization. In conclusion, the Mandela Millers, as our organization being chosen, should adapt the above strategies mentioned above in order to reduce on the effects of Russian invasion on Ukraine. Thanks.